Hi there! Today I have another video with Barbie heads from Aliexpress for you. And this time there's no glue head because these three beauties were made prior the glue decade by Mattel. The prices for them were quite good. The girl in the middle was the most expensive one with a little bit over 6 euros. The one on the left was only 4 euros and the one on the right a little bit over 5. That's already the total, no additional costs. That's with taxes and free shipping and everything. So let's start with the first girl. She does have the CEO face or Generation Girl face, and in my opinion, a very pretty screening. And I love the fact that she does have green eyes, or better said, a mixture between green and blue, because the bottom is more green and the top is a little bit more blue. I don't know, but I think this screening is very friendly. She just has so very open eyes, and to me, she looks even a little bit excited, but in a good way. Her hair is saran, but it does have product in, and that product sits inside of the hair for over 20 years, so the touch of the hair at the moment is not very pleasant, but that's very fixable. Overall, the head is in good and pretty clean condition. The next girl does also have the CEO or Generation Girl face, and yeah, she looks totally different. Also, her head is way larger, and also her screening is very different from the other girls. She does have more squinted eyes, a little bit larger, and the overall aesthetic is totally different. Her hair is Kanekalon, and it is the good stuff. Because, I'm not the biggest fan of Kanekalon hair, but this kind of Kanekalon is the good hair fiber. Even though she is pretty dang old, I guess she was made between 2004 or 6 because her screening does give me that vibe, even though I did not really find exactly this girl here. The hair still does not feel super dry and it does not have any product in or on the fiber. That's a big plus, and so this girl here is a super easy fix. In direct comparison, it is so strange that this here is the same face mold. They look so different. Of course, the screening is part of that, but also the size and everything. So I truly love the CEO face. I think it is a very, very versatile face. Personally, I really like this mode for Barbie in general the most. It's really hard to see on camera, but also the stems and the neck are the same, even though on the bigger head it is a little bit stretched. And here comes the last head for today, which looks very similar, or better said, identical to the first head when it comes to the screening. So yes, this time we do have twins, but with different hair fiber or with overall different hairstyles, but I still think both do have their original hairstyle. This girl here does have a blend of hair. It is very easy to see and this time also to feel that the darker streaks are saran hair, but the lighter ones are Kanekalon. And this Kanekalon is the bad stuff. This Kanekalon is a very thin one that does have a lot of breakages and it feels super dry. Also, she does have some very strangely shorter streaks in her hair. I don't know, but at least this here was the most inexpensive one. And since most of her hair is still long, I will live with the shorter streaks. I guess they will blend in. This time, all the girls do have exactly the same skin color. The skin comparison is therefore pretty easy. On the far right, the girl with the red hair is the light blue top, yoga made to move. Then you do have the pink top made to move. Next up is pink tie-dye or new Nutra. I think a lot of the newer Millie Barbie made to move bodies do have exactly this skin tone. And the last one is a little bit more special because she is the latest wheelchair Barbie and her skin tone is a little bit different than all the other Millies I have seen so far in person. Her skin tone is a bit more yellow, but it is not as yellow as, for example, the BMR Kira. But still, it does have a stronger yellow undertone, and that is pretty good when you would like to put an early 2000s CEO face on a made to move body. Of course, the skin tones are not always the same, but as you can see here on these three girls, they are very similar. The skin tone of the light blue top made to move yoga doll is definitely too dark, but honestly, if you would put this head on this body, you would get away with it. The same goes for the pink top yoga made to move body. It is a bit too dark, but in the end, if you would put this head on this body with clothing, you would not see a difference, but the body is a bit too dark for the head. The skin tone of the pink tie-dye body is way lighter, but it does also have a more pink undertone or red undertone. So you can see here the difference, but again, if you would put this head on this body, in the end, I don't think that you would see the difference once the doll is fully clothed and everything. And here you do have the wheelchair Barbie, and in my opinion, this is the best match. Of course, the body is plastic, the head is vinyl, so with bright light you can see a little bit of shine on the body, but the match between body and head is in person very good. And also for the bigger head, you can see it here. The two bodies on the right are a little bit too dark, and the best match again is the wheelchair Barbie. But I have only one of these wheelchair Barbies left, and since the largest head does have the most skin showing, she will get the wheelchair Barbie body, and the other twins, they need to get the pink tie-dye because I have still a few of them left to be in the end body donors. Even though these heads here are not that dirty, they still need a good cleaning. The first one is the girl with fully saran hair, and the hair is still in good condition, but the ends are very dry because of the product that sits on the fiber for a very long time. So I washed her hair very thoroughly with a moisturizing shampoo, and after washing out most of it, I added a bit of it again on the ends of the hair and let her sit for a while and then wash it out again. Of course, the hair product or whatever product it is did damage the hair fiber quite a bit over the last 2 decades. And the hair does not feel like a brand new saran fiber, but a quick hot boil or just a very hot water boil, since I didn't want to lose all the waves, did help the fiber quite a bit to be way more soft and it feels way nicer and smooth again. The next girl is the very easy girl because her hair fiber is in nearly perfect condition. She was not played with, there was no product in her hair, so this is very easy peasy. Just a bit shampoo, everything is nice and clean again after that. Her hair is not that tangled at all, but still, a quick comb through is always needed. And then she got a hot water rinse just to give the hair this really nice and soft touch. I'm still not the biggest Kanekalon fan, but when it always comes in that quality, I'm very fine with it. Last but not least, the girl with the frizzy hair. And this girl here is the only one that was a bit harder to restore this time. Her hair is frizzy, her hair is tangled. And as I said, this here is not the super good and high quality Kanekalon, so she does have the hair that really tends to break. But luckily, she also has a good amount of saran hair, so that evens out the not so nice Kanekalon. After the first wash, I already tried to separate the hair a bit so that it's easier later on to comb through it. And of course also to get a better separation of the middle part of her hair. So now I come through it for the first time, streak by streak. And after that, she will also get her first hot boil, or better said, hot water rinse, since you don't want to use boiling hot water on Kanekalon hair. It usually will get waves after that. The fiber is not so heat resistant, and in case you'd like to have straight hair afterwards, you cannot use very hot boiling water. Maybe you could start with not so super hot water, and then if it does not work, use water that is a bit hotter, because that's what I did with this girl here. Since she does have a blend of hair and therefore she can take a little bit more heat, but as I said, the Kanekalon here is very sensitive, so it is not so super easy. Not as easy as for the other girls. By the way, at least for this girl here, I think I know who she is. I think this is Beach Fun Barbie from 2003. When it comes to screenings from Barbie, the fashiondolls.de site is a very good resource to find the doll you would like to identify. I did not find the right doll to the twin version of this head here, because I found one that I think does have saran hair, but the one that I have does have a side part, so I guess it is not the right one. But this one here does have this very unique blend of hair, so I think it is Beach Barbie. And I have to say, this is a very pretty budget doll. So hey, this was for kids. She did have a little shovel and a little bucket, and it is so nicely done. I think that's so cute, and even the flowers on her top matches the cardboard flowers. I think back then, the amount of detail, even for a budget doll, were really awesome. I think she does have such a cute outfit. These very cute hot pants in red. And as I said, the flower top is also very cute. She even came with sunglasses. And as I already said, the screening of this doll is beautiful. At that point, I really can understand that a lot of you are mostly inbox collectors, but I have to say I really like to pose and play with the Made to Move body. And I'm happy that I got this head without all the other stuff, so I would not have ripped everything apart when I would have gotten this doll in pristine condition, since she is a very cutie one in my opinion. I have to say I do like the clothing on this one here quite a bit. I would love to see that kind of quality again on budget dolls, but I guess that will never happen again. Anyway, she will get another hot water ball to get a little bit more of a straight look for the hair, since it is still a bit bumpy on the side. So this time I used water that was a little bit hotter. I also combed her hair after the first dip and then poured over the rest of the hot water. And I can already see that the hair fiber this time is definitely smoother and I guess as straight as possible. And here they are now clean and already on their new bodies. The girl with the saran hair does at least have a bit left of her wave. The girl with the premium Kanekalon hair is exactly as I thought she would look like. Her hair is in perfect condition. And the last girl definitely is way better than I had expected. Her hair is very smooth, it is also very soft, and in my opinion it looks very nice. Maybe the ends are a little bit rough, but I won't cut them off, since it is really rare nowadays to find a Barbie with such long and pretty hair and different colored streaks. And I think overall the little bit shorter streaks are not that noticeable after all. And of course, as always, these girls here need a styling. And I think because of the fact that these three girls come from a pretty good era for Barbie, they will get stylings mainly in light pink and hot pink, so pure Barbiecore for today. Here are they all together, up close, and The first girl for the detail look is the girl from the front. I think her hair color is very pretty. It is this kind of more honey blonde. And she's wearing pastel colors plus white, and I think everything goes together pretty well. I'm absolutely in love with this screening. I think the eyes are so pretty. And before we see this face again, here's the next girl with a very pretty Kanekalon hair. And she got, I think, a quite modern but very Barbie-esque and elegant city look. She is the girl that got white plus hot pink because she indeed looks very different compared to the other ones. I mean, the other ones do have exactly the same face. They all have the same face, but exactly the same screening. And this girl here is different, especially her eye shape and the overall aesthetic of the makeup gives a way more comic look and also a more serious look. But last but not least, here's the other twin. And I thought because of her former design as a very cool and colorful looking beach girl, today she is just a very sweet and cute version in light Barbie pink. Very romantic and normally absolutely not my style, but I think this face can also wear a very cute look. And here you do have them all together again, just in full size. And what do you think? Do you think the looks do match to the faces? And I would love to read which one is your favorite. It's again the end of the video, and I hope you had a bit of fun today. I hope to see you again in one of my next videos, and until then, I wish you a great time. Bye!